hats off to the Tigers. They went out and said, we lost Victor Martinez, and, you know, we all talked about it. We heard Johnny Dame and all these guys. They went right out and said, okay, this is not about us winning the Central, because they were, even without Victor Martinez, I still had them leading the Central. I thought they were the best team there. This is about the postseason. This is what it's about. I think they're looking out and saying, this is the guy. Now, again, John mentioned Mike Ilitch. Dave Dombrowski, I'm sure, went and recommended this deal, said, look, this is the best guy out here. I think we've got a chance to get him. Dave Dombrowski doesn't make that himself. He has to go out, and the owner has got to be the one to step up. And in this case, Mike Ilitch said, hey, we're all in. And so now you're going to have, the American League's going to have to go through Prince and Mickey back-to-back. Come on, boys.
You guys want to look at a potential lineup for the Detroit Tigers in 2012? This is a team that was known for pitching. They've already got their rotation set, potentially. Brendan Bosch, you're going to hit second in front of Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, and Delmon Young. Prince Fielder goes into that cleanup spot. Dan, what does it do for this club?
It makes Miguel Cabrera the hitter that he is. I mean, he lost his protection. Victor Martinez going down for the season. You take a look at this lineup, to me, Eric, this is one of the teams you're going to have to go through if you're thinking about getting to the World Series in the American League. I think with this move, they've separated themselves from the pack, at least in the American League Central.
In the Central, of course. I don't think in the American League, though. I'd still take Texas's lineup over that lineup. And here's the other thing you guys are forgetting. Victor Martinez hit .330, 12 homers, drove in 103 runs last year. Prince Fielder, in 162-game average, averages 106 runs. You guys are acting like all of a sudden this signing in Greg Amsinger, you like to play stuff up as a great television host.
You think that's what I did? I think people at home are sitting there going, are you kidding me?
This is awesome. This is awesome. This is great. It's a huge sign for them. But what does that mean for them as a team? How much better will they be with Prince Fielder, say, coming up for the 2012 season? They'll probably be a little bit better than they were last year, but I don't think this...
Little bit better.
I just gave you the numbers. He's replacing a guy that had 103 RBI, so you can't discount what Victor Martinez has done.
But isn't that because people wanted to pitch to Victor Martinez and they would just pitch around Miguel Cabrera to get to Victor Martinez? Isn't that why he had so many opportunities to drive in runs? Victor Martinez was
from a pitcher standpoint, I will tell you this. Victor Martinez is a good hitter. But Prince Fielder, you know where he's at in the lineup when you're taking your warm-ups between innings. Where is he hitting in that lineup? Because he hits right-handers, he hits left-handers, and one element that he brings that Victor doesn't bring is a long ball threat. So they're 3-4. You're talking right-left. This is almost Braun and Fielder going a little bit east to Detroit. This right now, you're talking about this 3-4 is without question the best right-left tandem in baseball. This is a big signing. I agree with Eric. I think we're discounting what Victor Martinez brings to the table because he's a professional hitter. He's a good hitter. He's going to hit for average. But Prince, you know where he's at in the lineup a half hour before the game starts.
And he's 27 years old, John. Yeah, he's much younger.
Absolutely. And I think the other thing that we have to take into account is that they would not, I don't think they would have signed Prince Fielder if Victor Martinez wouldn't have gone down. I think the whole impetus for the Tigers to jump was Victor went down. They said, we're not as good a club, and there's nobody out on the market, there's nobody we can trade for that is going to be able to replace Victor Martinez. And Dan, you hit it just right. Without Victor Martinez or Prince Fielder in that lineup, they're not going to pitch to Miguel Cabrera. I mean, he walked 100-plus times last year, even with Victor Martinez. With Prince Fielder there, you've got no place to hide, no place to go.
I mean, we know he's a professional hitter, Eric, and talking about Miguel Cabrera. There have been questions about, does he come into camp in shape? Is being a full-time DH, according to John Heyman, Prince Fielder is the full-time first baseman. Miguel Cabrera is not going to use a glove anymore unless they put him at third. Can he play third anymore, in your opinion? And do you think he can adjust to being a full-time designated hitter?
I don't think he can play third full-time. I think you can hide him there for a few games. But quite frankly, I mean, I look at Miguel Cabrera. He doesn't look like he's in the shape to play third base. Now, if he worked hard at it, got back into better shape like he was earlier in his in my mind that Miguel Cabrera could play third base. And again, I don't want to jump all the way ahead, but what happens when Victor Martinez comes back? I think eventually you're going to have to either obviously move one of these guys or Victor Martinez, maybe he could play a little third base.
John, let me ask you this from a GM standpoint. You bite down, this is $214 million. Do you take a look at this window if you're Dave Dombrowski and Mike Ilitch? You say, okay, we have Verlander, terrific, Fister, terrific, Porcello and Scherzer. This is the Tigers' window while their pitching is good to say, hey, we can make an impact. We can win this whole thing if we go get a guy like Prince.
Absolutely, Danny. And again, when you look at it with other organizations that maybe didn't have that sense of urgency, they would have looked and said, okay, we lost a guy for a year, we'll just hold off. We'll stopgap that. These guys, as you said, they smell it right now, they see it right now, they were aggressive, and they went out and got the best guy. Not every organization is going to do that. Number one, they're not going to be able to do it financially. And number two, they're going to look up and say, we will have a problem 12 months from now when Victor's ready, Cabrera's ready, and you've got Prince Fielder. You got, one chair. Somebody there's just not enough chairs there.
So what do you do if you're Dave Dombrowski? You deal with a year from now what those cards are. You go into spring training. Victor Martinez is healthy. All of a sudden, you have the potential. It's going to be hard to have Prince Fielder, Miguel Cabrera, and Victor Martinez on the same team. You hope he's healthy, then hopefully you can move him.
Yeah, I think that's what we will figure it out at another time. And